Welcome to my channel, Super Rare Coins. Today's best, top 4 coins. Please don't skip this video. So let's get it started. The 1992 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent is a 1-cent coin produced by the United States Mint in 1992 at the Denver Mint, as denoted by the small letter D mint mark located just beneath the date on the obverse. It belongs to the Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1992, the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, first issued in 1959 for Lincoln's 150th birthday, had been in circulation for 33 years. This reverse replaced the earlier wheat ears design and was intended to symbolize Lincoln's enduring legacy. With the memorial serving as a physical and symbolic representation of national unity, the coin's composition in 1992 was the modern standard for us cents introduced mid-1982. 97.5% zinc core with 2.5% copper plating, giving the penny its traditional reddish-brown appearance while drastically reducing copper usage. It weighs 2.50 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a plain smooth edge. This zinc-based composition, though cost-effective, is more susceptible to environmental damage than the earlier bronze alloy, leading to surface spotting, bubbling, and corrosion if the plating is breached. The obverse front design, created by Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing portrait of President Lincoln. Above his head arcs the national motto "In God We Trust," while the word Liberty appears to the left, and the date 1992 to the right. Beneath the date is the D mint mark for Denver. Brenner's initials VDB are engraved on the shoulder truncation of Lincoln's bust, a small tribute to the designer. Restored in 1918 after being removed from the 1909 issue due to concerns over its prominence, Lincoln's face is shown with deep thought and resolve. Capturing his role as the preserver of the Union during its most turbulent years, the reverse back, designed by Frank Gasparro, displays the Lincoln Memorial in exacting detail. One of the most distinctive features is that, under magnification, the seated statue of Lincoln can be seen inside the memorial's central chamber, a subtle but famous design element. The top center bears the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, above the memorial itself. The words United States of America form a wide arc along the upper edge of the coin, and the denomination 1 cent is inscribed boldly at the bottom. Gasparro's rendering of the memorial reflects neoclassical symmetry, with all columns, steps, and architectural lines carefully engraved despite the coin's small size. The mintage for the 1992 D. Lincoln Cent was very high, over 4.45 billion coins, making it a common date in circulation. However, one variety from this year is extremely famous and valuable, the 1992 D. Close AM variety. On this variety, the spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse is very close, a detail normally found on proof coins from that era. This was the result of the mint accidentally using a proof reverse die for a business strike. Only a small number of 1992 D. Close AM cents are known, making them worth thousands of dollars in high grades. The standard issue, with the wide AM reverse, is extremely common and worth only face value in circulated condition. From a minting perspective, the Denver Mint in 1992 used high-speed coining presses capable of striking hundreds of coins per minute. Despite quality control measures, plating flaws, die cracks, and misaligned dies still occurred occasionally, producing collectible mint errors. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clashed dies are among the most desirable error types for 1992 D cents. In terms of numismatic value, typical circulated 1992 D cents have no premium. Uncirculated examples graded MS65 Red Road or higher may sell for modest amounts to collectors building date and mint mark sets. Coins with full original luster and flawless surfaces are far less common than the total mintage suggests, as copper-plated zinc cents often develop spots or small nicks even when stored carefully. Historically, the 1992 D. Lincoln Cent reflects the late 20th century U.S. Mint's balance between tradition and cost efficiency. The obverse portrait by Brenner had by then appeared on the cent for 83 consecutive years, longer than any other design on circulating U.S. coinage. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, though still popular, was nearing the end of its lifespan, as it would be replaced by the Lincoln bicentennial designs in 2009. Economically, the penny in 1992 had already lost significant purchasing power, yet it continued to circulate heavily for everyday transactions, vending machines, and making exact change. Next, the 1993 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent is a 1-cent coin of the United States struck in 1993 at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark located just beneath the date on the obverse. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1993, the design featuring Lincoln's bust on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse had already been in use for more than 3 decades. The memorial reverse having been introduced in 1959 on the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the earlier wheat ears design. The coin is made from the post-1982 standard composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, which was introduced to lower production costs. This composition makes the coin lighter, weighing 2.5 grams compared to the earlier bronze cents at 3.11 grams. The diameter is 19.05 millimeters and the edge is plain smooth, without reading, while the copper-plated zinc planchettes maintain the traditional color and appearance of a penny. They are more prone to developing spots, corrosion, and plating issues over time, especially if subjected to moisture. On the obverse front, the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln faces right, designed by Victor David Brenner and first used in 1909. Above Lincoln's head arcs the national motto, "In God We Trust." While the word liberty appears to his left, the year 1993 is positioned to his right, with the D mint mark of the Denver Mint just below it. Brenner's initials, VDB, are subtly inscribed on the truncation of Lincoln's shoulder, a detail restored in 1918 after initial controversy over its prominence. The design captures Lincoln with a thoughtful, dignified expression, emphasizing his role as one of the most respected leaders in U.S. history. The reverse back of the coin, created by Frank Gasparro, features the Lincoln Memorial in meticulous detail. When viewed under magnification, the seated statue of Lincoln can be seen in the center of the memorial, just as it appears in the real-life monument in Washington, D.C. Above the memorial is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, and arcing around the top of the reverse is United States of America. The denomination 1 cent is displayed prominently at the bottom. The reverse design served as a symbolic representation of Lincoln's enduring legacy and his role in preserving the Union. The Denver Mint struck an enormous number of 1993 D Lincoln cents, over 6.4 billion coins, making them extremely common in circulation. Because of this high mintage, most examples found today have only face value in circulated condition. However, coins in pristine, uncirculated red road condition, especially those graded MS66 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can attract collector interest. Exceptional examples with full blazing mint luster and no spots or marks are far less common than the mintage might suggest due to the fragility of copper plating. While 1993 D pennies generally have consistent production quality, minor minting errors do exist. Collectors have identified examples with off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, or misaligned dies. Though these errors are not widespread, they can bring added value depending on their size and visibility. Unlike some earlier Lincoln Memorial cents, there are no widely recognized double die varieties for the 1993 D issue, but specialists still search rolls and mint sets for unusual die characteristics. From a historical standpoint, the 1993 D cent reflects the mass production efficiency of the modern U.S. Mint, which by this time had fully transitioned to high-speed automated presses and improved die manufacturing methods. The Lincoln cent itself remained an iconic fixture of American commerce despite its declining purchasing power, being used for vending machines, retail transactions, and exact change in everyday life. The coin also serves as a snapshot of US monetary history in the early 1990s, when coins and paper currency still circulated heavily in physical form before the rapid growth of electronic transactions in later decades. Next, the 1994 D Lincoln Memorial cent is a 1-cent coin of the United States minted in 1994 at the Denver Mint, as shown by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse. It belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1994 D issue continues the Lincoln Memorial reverse design that had been in place since 1959, marking the 85th year of continuous production for the Lincoln cent, and the 35th year for the memorial design. By 1994, the U.S. Mint was well into the modern era of Lincoln cents, made from copper-plated zinc rather than the traditional bronze alloy used before 1982. This cost-effective composition, 97.5% zinc with a 2.5% copper coating, gave the coin its familiar reddish appearance but made it lighter in weight than pre-1982 cents. The 1994 D penny measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, has a plain edge, weighs 2.5 grams, and features a smooth, reflective copper plating over a durable zinc core. While this alloy reduced production costs, it also meant the coins were more susceptible to plating bubbles, corrosion, and spotting over time, especially if exposed to moisture or circulation wear. The obverse front of the coin features the enduring portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. This depiction, based on a photograph of Lincoln, shows him facing right, with liberty positioned to his left, "In God We Trust" arching above his head, and the year 1994 to the right. Beneath the date is the D mint mark, signifying production at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Brenner's initials, VDB, are subtly placed on the truncation of Lincoln's shoulder, a detail restored to the design in 1918 after early controversy over their prominence. The reverse back, designed by Frank Gasparro, displays the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a design introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Gasparo's intricate engraving allows a tiny seated statue of Lincoln to be seen between the memorial's central columns when viewed under magnification. The United States of America arc across the top, e pluribus unum out, of many, one is centered above the memorial, and 1 cent appears prominently at the bottom. The reverse design was used on billions of coins, until it was replaced in 2009 by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield reverses. The Denver Mint produced a massive mintage of over 6.5 billion 1994D Lincoln cents, making this one of the most common modern pennies in circulation. Because of this high production figure, circulated examples have only face value, though uncirculated red road specimens can command collector interest, especially in high grades such as MS66 and above, certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Coins graded MS67RD are scarce due to the copper plating's tendency to spot or tone, and these can fetch a premium among registry set collectors. From a historical perspective, the 1994 D penny reflects the late 20th century state of U.S. coinage, where high-speed coining presses, improved die-making techniques, and massive production numbers defined the mint's operations. Despite its small face value, the Lincoln cent remained a cultural icon and a familiar part of everyday American transactions. Even though inflation had greatly diminished its purchasing power by the 1990s, it was still widely used in vending machines, payphones, and retail transactions at the time, and its enduring design made it instantly recognizable worldwide. Era varieties for the 1994 D are relatively few compared to earlier years, but examples exist of off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies. Some collectors also seek coins with unusually strong strikes or exceptional luster. While the 1994 Philadelphia issue is more associated with minor double die reverses, Denver's production quality was typically consistent, focusing on efficiency and volume. The 1995 D Lincoln cent is a 1-cent coin of the United States, struck in 1995 at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small d mint mark below the date on the obverse. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. In 1995, the coin was still using the Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design that had been in place since 1959 when it replaced the original Wheatear reverse, struck primarily for circulation. The 1995 D penny is a representative piece of late 20th century U.S. coinage, reflecting both economic trends and the minting technology of its era. By 1995, Lincoln cents were being produced from a copper-plated zinc composition, a change that had been implemented in 1982. The alloy consists of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, giving the coin its traditional reddish color while reducing production costs. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, 0.75 inches, a weight of 2.5 grams, and a plain edge. The switch to zinc ore made these coins lighter than their pre-1982 copper predecessors, and the plating sometimes results in visible surface bubbles or spots over time. Especially in circulated examples, the obverse front features the iconic right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909. The 1995 D obverse retains Brenner's classic design with a liberty to the left of Lincoln's portrait, the national motto "In God We Trust" curving above his head, and the date, 1995, with a small D mint mark just below it, identifying Denver as the minting location. Brenner's initials VDB are visible on the truncation of Lincoln's shoulder, a placement restored in 1918 after being removed from the original wheat cent reverse. The reverse back, designed by Frank Gasparo in 1959, features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., rendered in fine detail so that, under magnification, the seated statue of Lincoln is visible between the central columns. Above the memorial is the United States of America, below which is the national motto "E pluribus unum," Latin for "out of many, one." The denomination 1 cent is prominently displayed along the lower rim. This reverse served from 1959 until it was replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial designs in 2009. The Denver Mint struck a massive quantity of 1995 D cents, over 7 billion pieces, making it a very common date in circulation. Due to this high mintage, circulated examples hold only face value, while uncirculated and proof-like specimens are more desirable to collectors. In brilliant uncirculated book condition, coins display strong luster and minimal contact marks, with red road examples commanding higher prices than red-brown RB or brown BN toned pieces. There is no widely recognized doubled die obverse variety for the Denver issue in 1995. Unlike the Philadelphia 1995 cent, which is a famous doubled die obverse variety highly sought after by collectors. Historically, the mid-1990s Lincoln cents reflect a period of U.S. coinage where the penny had lost much of its purchasing power, yet remained an essential part of everyday transactions. By 1995, vending machines, payphones, and other coin-operated devices still accepted cents, though their practical utility was diminishing due to inflation. The design also represents an era when the US Mint was refining its high-speed production capabilities. The Denver facility alone produced billions of coins annually, using state-of-the-art presses to maintain precise tolerances. From a numismatic perspective, the 1995 D is considered a modern common date, but it holds interest for collectors who build complete Lincoln cent sets, especially in high grades certified by PCGS or NGC. Full red road coins in MS67 or higher can command a significant premium due to the difficulty of preserving the delicate copper plating without spotting or toning. Additionally, some collectors seek examples with mint errors such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, or die cracks, which add uniqueness and collectability. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.